Hey, welcome back to A-Aron Reacts, and we're back for another Aurora video. You reminded me, hey, you haven't done Aurora for a while, so here I am. I love, love, love Aurora. I certainly need to do more of her, and here we are back. This is live at Domen? Nidarosdomen. Sorry, the pronunciation is probably terrible of that, but that is Through the Eyes of a Child. I did no research coming into this other than I have the lyrics up and available if I need them. And I tried to turn subtitles on. I often do. Now I turn the sound off and do these types of things just to make sure that I've got it. And it didn't look like it gave me the option for subtitles, so I don't think we could have them on the video. But we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Definitely looking forward to this. It comes highly recommended from you, so let's get to it. Through the Eyes of a Child.
The world is covered by our trails and scars we cover up with paint. Watch them preach inside our lives. I would rather see the world through the eyes of a child, through the eyes of a child. Darker times will come and go, times you need to see her smile, and mother's hands are warm and mild. I would rather feel the world through the skin of a child, through the skin of a child. When a human strokes your skin, that is when you let them in. Let them in before they go. I would rather be alive with a childlike soul, with a childlike soul. Hey, won't you please don't leave me here.
She has such a beautiful soul. Wow. So, this was seemingly not that deep, but I feel like there's multiple themes interweaving around each other. But let's talk first about the performance, the music, and instrumentation, the stage, and so forth. So, you see her on a smaller stage. I don't know if I saw any specific angle or imagery of it of her feet, but I think she's barefoot, and I think that that theme of connecting to earth and so forth actually matches this very well in that song. If so, but I know she often performs, I don't know if always, but often performs barefoot. Is there a story behind that, by the way? I don't know if there's a story behind that, like there is with Angelina Jordan, for example. Is there a story behind her performing bare feet, and how often does she? I'm curious. And again, I feel like we saw it more towards the beginning, but her imagery, as she, even just the first couple lines, world is covered by her trails. I forget, but then I know she did like scars covered up with paint, like she was covering it up. And, again, she paints the picture visually with you along with the sound. I think the choice of instrumentation was fantastic. I mean, we saw, that harp and the strings and guitar and the piano at various points. And I feel like, especially as we get towards the end, it's almost like experiencing it through the eyes of the child, and hearing the different instrumentation creates this kind of sense of wonder and bewilderment and innocence and so forth, especially with the harp and so forth. So I think the choice of instrumentation there was deliberate, and I love it. Her singing, as always, is just angelic, just beautiful, and her ability to, weave between the ranges and just express whatever she wants, however she wants. Again, her tool belt is full, and she can do whatever she desires, and she uses it. And I especially love, I've always loved, but I'm thinking about it in this moment. Her slides between the notes and just how she does it, and not necessarily always hitting the note perfectly on, but can adjust and move it around and let her body and just let it flow, right? But her musicality is through the charts, and she knows how to do that, right? Lyrically, this song is quite complicated. I feel like it's seemingly simple, but it's quite complicated, right? There's this concept of through the eyes of a child, this innocence, this purity, right? But I feel like there's an underlying theme of against corruption, which is really interesting. There was that line, watch them preach in our sour lies. I feel like that kind of it speaks to the disillusionment with like societal or institutional dishonesty, where those in power spread falsehoods, so forth. This is actually very similar to some themes that I've been exploring with Ren. And so it's the difference of covering up things and so forth and creating that innocence versus that corruption, right? And then there's this concept of vulnerability and connection, right? The care, being open, love. There was a line of, yeah, I mean, just talk about darker times will come and go, and then the presence of her smile and mother's hands, like it serves the comfort, the warmth, the care, the love, acting as shield against those darker times. And then there is that cycle of hope and despair. Despite the darker moments, there's a persistent hope in that simplicity, purity of childhood. There's a little bit of a fear of abandonment towards the end. Please don't leave me here. And so, at the end of the day, it's almost like she's saying, through all of this, there's so much more simplicity, from the eyes of a child, but it's even more than that because the innocence, the again, I use the term bewilderment, and I think that's appropriate. The curiosity of a child. I feel like a parent's one of the best gifts, maybe not the best gifts. I think love and so forth maybe are the best, but certainly for me as a parent, one of the best gifts my children have given me is to see things through their eyes. That curiosity, the questions they rise or they ask. So fantastic, fantastic. Once again, Aurora, you're amazing. I love you. Definitely got to do more, but I do have to go now. So please like and subscribe this channel if you haven't yet, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you much.